Yo, you seen this? You seen this? Stoic Tang with another YouTube video. This time in the afternoon. Alright, boys. So today we're gonna be talking about how absence creates respect. Now, let's get a definition of what respect means. You can respect somebody by just judging them the first time you look at them. That's the general respect. General respect is how a person treats another person, how a person sees them, how a person has different perspectives upon each person. And you respect a person a little differently based upon what you perceive them as. Right? So first off, let's talk about general respect. How do you become more respected? The thing is, absence creates respect because people don't know what you're doing. The moment someone doesn't know what you're doing, they create a false sense of reality of what you're actually doing in your life. Usually, the things that people imagine, the things that people think you are doing are better than the things that you are actually doing. That's why people fall in love and people fall into illusions, into fantasies, into what could have been. Because the mind likes to create an image and portray an image or illustrate an image that's not really real. Because we like to imagine, as kids, as adults, as teenagers, we like to imagine, oh, how I could be this successful, or oh, how I could have these toys to be a real thing, or how I could have these many cars on my parking lot. That's why so many movies are created, so much new content is created on social media, so many things are created by the justification of imagination. Imagination is honestly such a powerful thing because it creates a false sense of reality for every single person you meet, causing respect to fluctuate. And when respect fluctuates, that means you can add on to your own respect by becoming absent. Okay, how does being absent contribute to how a person sees you and to how a person acts towards you? Well, let's get a specific example. When you are absent, when you are not present in an area, people think about how you used to treat them. People think about the atmosphere around when you're not present. People think about the space that you once held and how that space feels like a complete void right now. Therefore, when you aren't there, they create that void as something that needs to be filled. So the next time the person sees you, they fill that void that they're missing from you, therefore increasing your own respect, therefore increasing your value as well. Honestly, value and respect it's not controllable. You cannot control how respected you are, how valuable you are. Well, in some cases you can control your value. You can control your respect. You can argue for different points because there are always differing opinions. But what I'm saying is that how a person perceives you can almost never be controlled unless you are a master manipulator. Unless you are absent on purpose. Unless you are acting a certain way to be more respected. But usually, when a person is absent from an area, when a person is not present, when a person is creating that void in the area that they are not in, it is usually because they are so busy with their lives, that they have so many things going on for them, that they are constantly being pulled in different directions, that they cannot be in every place at every time. And you know what a fundamental theorem of algebra is? Every input must have an output. Every x value must have a y value. Otherwise, the function wouldn't make sense. Some people may not understand what I'm trying to say, but every single input has an output, or it wouldn't be real. Every single time a person is not present in one area, they are present in another area. Therefore, when you do not give attention to this one area, people start missing who you are. People start needing you. But little do they know, your attention is somewhere else. And your attention being somewhere else creates a rarity for you. That's why people tend to respect the people that aren't always available, that do not really care that they aren't available because they are so busy with their lives. And that ties into not only respect, but also attraction. People are attracted to people, and people like things that are in demand and low supply. This doesn't only correlate to a person's high value, a person's value, a person's capability to be respected, but also in objects, also in substantial things in this life. When something is low supply and something is high demand, it is obviously something that people want. It is obviously something that is worth high value. So when something or a person is not in an area or is absent, just like how an object is absent, an object has low supply in an area, then their demand skyrockets for the reason that they are wanted but not there. That is the psychology of not only people wanting things, but people wanting other humans and people wanting other things. If everyone could become rich, then nobody would want to be rich. If everybody could have that beautiful woman, then nobody would want that beautiful woman. If it was so easy to become high value, then nobody would think about a person being high value being worth it. If you get what I'm saying, then you get what I'm saying. It's hard to try and coagulate these words into one big picture. But if you can understand that the moment something is not available is the moment that it is needed, it is wanted, it is favored. It applies to every single concept on this planet. When something is little, it is not wanted. When something is little, it is wanted. When something is in great amounts, when something is in abundance, when something is ubiquitous, it loses value. If you ever want to increase the amount of money you have, like how the United States of America tries to increase the amount of money they have, they would have to destroy their bills, destroy the amount of bills that they have to create their own currency to become higher value compared to other countries. Because what they are doing right now is corrupting the bills, corrupting the amount of the bills by constantly producing more and more and more and more bills. That the value of $1 is starting to decrease. The value of $1 is starting to be 90 cents, for example. Just like how a person is desperate, a person is needy, a person is there all the time, a person is at all the parties, a person is at every single function, a person is everywhere you see them, they lose value. They're not worth what they were worth before. Therefore, absence increases respect. Therefore, scarcity increases value. That's all I have today, guys, and I hope that lesson was something that you can take away.